Hey, welcome to another episode of Dad Bods and Touchdowns. I'm joined with Eric and Jake. And guys, it's playoff time. Got a bunch of playoff games starting tomorrow. We got our Bears playing Saturday night. It's going to be exciting. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. We'll talk about some fired coaches and who we think will take their spots. Let's start off with the Raiders getting the number one pick. Eric, we were texting a little bit earlier. Looks like they're probably going to end up with Mendoza, which would be an outstanding thing for them. It'll make them a tough team in the future as long as they played their cards right with their draft picks, with the offensive line. You think that's the right direction that they're probably going to go this early, trying
It
to
would be
call
the
it?
smart thing to do for sure.
What do you think, Jake?
I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, it kind of all just depends on, I guess, who steps in for head coach too. So you might never know. There's a lot of interesting things that could happen with quarterbacks too. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I think if
ultimately, I
he
guess it
stays
happened there.
healthy, he won the Heisman. He's probably the most pro-ready quarterback that I think I've seen actually in a while with the way he throws the ball, his decision making, the way he controls the offense, as we're seeing tonight as they're whooping up on Oregon, currently 42-15 as we record on this Friday evening. But they also turned around and fired their coach, which we'll talk about. Let's get into it, guys. Fired coaches, it happens every year. Sometimes it happens that Sunday, that Monday. There happened to be one on Tuesday. One of them I've been predicting for a while. Eric was telling me no.
I mean, even squirrel can find a nut every now and then. It's fine.
Okay, let's get into it, guys. Giants fired obviously Brian Daboll earlier this season. You got Pete Carroll, who's gone now with the Raiders. Kevin Stefanski gone from the Browns. Titans, they fired their interim coach Mike McCoy. Falcons fired Raheem Morris, and they also fired their GM. Both not they didn't even wait, did they? They fired him that evening after they won, and which removed Tampa Bay out of the playoffs. You got Cardinals let go of Jonathan Gannon. Not too surprised by that one either. Big shocker for me, guys. I didn't see this one coming. I know that was talk, but the Ravens let go of John Harbaugh, and rumor has it that they sat down and talked with him after the loss to Pittsburgh, and they gave him pretty much an ultimatum kind of deal. They wanted him to fire Todd Monken, and he said he would not fire him. That's what led to his termination. And then last but not least, the one I just mentioned, Mike McDaniels was let go. I do not think that will be the last coach let go. I think there'll be another one in the playoffs after a team loses. That's my prediction. We'll get into that here in a little bit here. All right. So the Giants have already started some of theirs, and they've requested other candidates for interviews. The interviews that they have done is Mike Kafka, who's currently their interim coach, Kevin Stefanski, who got fired from the Browns, Raheem Morris, who was with Atlanta, Lance Joseph with Denver, Antonio Pierce, who's currently unemployed. They've requested or scheduled interviews with Mike McCarthy, John Harbaugh, Clint Kubiak, Aaron Rizzi, Davis Webb, and Cliff Kingsbury. So either are those or maybe a candidate that they haven't brought in yet that could be possibly on the market. Who do you think is the best fit there in New York for the Giants, Eric?
I know you're just talking shit about Mike McDaniel's take, but I feel like he would be a good candidate to take that offense to a better level. Or sneaky here with Robert Saleh. I like him to get that defense. They got a really young, fast defense that he could take advantage of. But it's so open. I mean, there's so many better candidates than I thought there were going to be. So it's going to be fun to see who everybody chooses.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Jake, who do you think fits the build best in the Giants that could take them back to winning ways?
I mean, I'm kind of right there with Eric with maybe Mike McDaniels, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, that to me is an organization that needs. I mean, they got the keys, right? They got key players, but I don't know. I could maybe see Mike McCarthy just to piss Eric off.
I think personally, Mike McCarthy would not be a bad person to bring in there. Like you said, they do have the pieces there. They have a great defense. I think that McCarthy can reach out to enough people to have a great defense coordinator there to continue the winning ways for their defense. McCarthy's way of running an offense would fit well with having the weapons and that they have currently, and they can build off their line for the draft that needs severe help, I think personally. And he can also probably help Jackson Dart without running with his head forward. But I believe John Harbaugh probably is the best fit for the Giants, really. I mean, he's a proven winner. He's a culture changer. And he's got a proven track record with quarterbacks, guys. I mean, he would be a game changer, I think, for Dart when it came all down to it. And I think that's probably, when you talk about teams currently, that may be the best team that's in the best winning condition out of all the ones looking for a head coach, just in my opinion. All right, let's move on to the Raiders, guys. They'll interview Davis Webb from the Denver Broncos, Vance Joseph from the Denver Broncos, Kevin Stefanski, Clint Kubiak, and Matt Nagy. That's who they've got on their radar. Everything I've read, that's the names I could find. Jake, who do you got fitting best?
Give him good old Matt Nagy. Watch him
you-
fuck it up.
Okay, who do you think is the best for them to win?
No. I don't know. I was kind of putting some thought into it. I mean, if they can get, obviously the number one, they have the number one pick. If they can get the quarterback, I could truly see him. I don't know. Because you got the only reason why I'm going with this is because of running back, but I can see John Harbaugh going there too. I mean, you gotta. What I think he didn't have a great of a year as I thought he would have, but you got a stud running back too that has promise, and you got a quarterback too with him. I mean, you seen what he did it with Lamar and Derek. Why not?
No, absolutely, I agree. Eric, who's going to be the game-changing coach to bring in to the Raiders?
I like Kevin Stefanski would be nice over there. You talk about quarterback development. He can develop, at least get some good play out of quarterbacks. I know he didn't have the best track record with the Browns, but I mean, they just couldn't get it right with the owner getting in the way and like getting him Johnny Manziel. Anyways, other than that, I mean, it's really just an open place. I mean, I would want to go to Las Vegas. Their stadium is cool. They got a lot of room to grow. And I mean, I think they're trying to go in with that first overall pick here that they're having.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have Kevin Stefanski as one of the coaches, but quite honestly, I mean, you've got the Tom Brady star power at this point in time helping you hire that next coach. And I can't see Kevin Stefanski being that guy that's on Tom Brady's radar. Clint Kubiak comes to my mind when I think of the ability to look at what he's done in Seattle with his offense. You're bringing in Mendoza, probably 99% positive that Mendoza is going to be a Vegas Raider. Okay, so you bring Kubiak in, who has worked well with Darnold. Obviously, Jigba at wide receiver, Williams at running back. I mean, he's done a great job there in Seattle. I would like to see him. The only reason why I do not say John Harbaugh is because that's the same division that his brother plays in. And that I just do not see him taking that just because of that reason.
That actually would be kind of cool just to play your brother twice a year.
It
That's
would.
also why I put that in there.
It would, but I just think that the way they respect each other, they want to meet in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Or they want to meet in that once every 4-year game, or by chance they play twice in 2 years. But I just can't see him going to play or coach in the same division as his brother. So let's talk about the dysfunctional Browns. The people they've interviewed already is Tom Rees. That's the Browns offensive coordinator. Jim Schwartz. We all know who Jim Schwartz is. We can talk about Jim Schwartz because Jim Schwartz is famous for being 0-16, only team to go winless in Detroit. So that would be a perfect hire for the Browns, but we'll talk about perfect hires here in a minute.
I didn't know that was his name. I'll be honest. 100% here. I forgot that was the coach. That's on me.
All right. You got Dan Pitcher, the Bengals offense coordinator. You've got Aiden Durd, Seahawks defense coordinator, and they requested to interview Todd Monken, the Ravens offensive coordinator, Jesse Minner, and then they'll probably request, I would guess, with Bills offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, and Packers defense coordinator, Jeff Hafley. I think personally for the Browns, and I always bag on them, you guys know that, Todd Monken makes sense to me just because he's worked with Lamar Jackson like he has. And not saying that Shador is Lamar Jackson, but I think that Monken can get the best offense for Shador to succeed. And there's a lot of pieces there offensively for the Browns, really, as far as wide receiver, Let's see how the rookie running back comes back after that gruesome injury he took. But you start putting together an offensive line there and an actual offensive scheme that'll work versus Kevin Stefanski, who didn't want to work with Shador. I think that it could be good for the Browns. The only other person I can really think of that would be better than him, and I'll have to agree with you guys on one thing, is Mike McDaniels would work well with Shador, I think, there too, after working with Tua like he has. Jake, who do you think fits well with the Browns?
That's my answer right there. I mean, you got Shador. I mean, I feel like that's a great fit for him right there. I mean, like you said, they have some stars that can shine, but the Browns are the Browns, so we'll see what.
Eric, if you had to put a head coach there, which one do you think they should go there?
I mean, I feel like Mike McCarthy would go there just because it's kind of a Browns move because, Mike McCarthy's overrated. But, Mike McDaniel would be fine. The Kingsbury could be good there. I mean, it just depends on what they decide.
Yeah. All right. So that's our take when it comes to the Browns. Titans, they interviewed Jason Garrett, Vance Joseph, Mike McCarthy, Mike McCoy, Matt Nagy, Steve Spagnuolo, the candidates that they are going to try to schedule, they're actually pending right now from what I've seen, is Mike McDaniel, Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski. Candidates that they said that they're going to request is Jeff Hafley, Cliff Kingsbury, Jesse Minner, Robert Saleh, Chris Shula, and Arthur Smith. So one thing I've noticed about all these lists, guys, is every team is actually going all out on these interviews, which is good to see. They want a winning coach, and they're not limiting it to 5 or 6 guys. They're opening up the window big time for them. Eric, who do you think fits that role the best in the Titans?
They need somebody with some type of horsepower because Titans have been known to not do anything. Honestly, I mean, I like Ward there, so they need somebody that can help him develop the team. They got a really good defensive line. I mean, honestly, the home run for them would be a Harbaugh, but I mean, they need somebody to give them a spark. The Seahawks offensive coordinator, I can't remember his name, even though you just said it. That guy, I like him.
Clinton Kubiak.
Yeah, Kubiak or Joe Brady would be good there too. They just need some type of sauce to give them some fire. But I don't know. I feel like everybody's trying to copy what the Bears did, kind of thing. They're just trying to like go fast because they know they're all gonna run out as soon as they're available to sign them, kind of thing.
Right. No, absolutely. Jake, who do you think fits best for Tennessee?
I'm just focusing more like defense wise. I mean, I think maybe Saleh kind of could fall here. I mean, like Eric just said, you got a good defensive line, you got a defensive mind coach. Why not run with it, and eventually try working on that offense or build up on it, That's where I can see it.
Yeah, I see them because they went out and got a first-round draft pick last year in Ward. They need something offensively to start clicking for them. They couldn't score points this year. They really struggled on all levels. The only thing that was really good for them was their defensive line. I think Mike McCarthy fits in well here. I find it kind of amusing that Eric says that Mike McCarthy's overrated, but he thinks that John Harbaugh is the home run hitter for this team when considering they both coached for 18 seasons. I mean, their winning percentages are almost identical. I mean, literally Harbaugh has a 614 winning percentage and McCarthy's got a 608. Now, you ready for this, Jake? All right. Both of them have 12 playoff appearances and both of them have 1 Super Bowl win.
That sounds pretty identical to me there, Eric.
How is one a playoff or one a home run and one overrated?
I mean, I said the same thing about Pete Carroll last year, and you said he wasn't a good coach or he was overdone. So
no, I mean, said that was a bad hire.
It's fine.
That was a bad hire.
I'm just saying, Mike McCarthy's he's over. Okay, he's past his prime. He's not a good coach anymore. He was mid.
Anyway, Mike
fine.
McCarthy fits in well there because he's going to have that young quarterback who is a mobile quarterback, which Mike McCarthy's dealt with. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, and he's had success with all 3 of them. The other one, guys, I know you guys are going to laugh. I think Matt Nagy fits well there. I mean, you give him another chance. You'll allow him with that young quarterback who is mobile, who has a decent arm, to work your trickery plays with. I mean, I know it's kind of a reach, but I just think that giving him a chance to work with a young quarterback.
I agree with that one, Chad, just because it's not as big of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not a big media like Chicago, big place. It's more low key. So I think that would be good for him. I do agree with you with that one.
But in return, though, I mean, granted, it is Chicago, but he did have a quarterback that was mobile. You've seen what why am I blanking his name? Justin.
He had Mitch
Mitchell,
Trubisky.
Mitchell
Or-
Trubisky.
Yeah, and he was granted one playoff appearance with him, but I mean, he looked pretty good to me there. And I wouldn't say great. I say pretty good. But then we all seen what he did. So I don't know. With a young quarterback, I think that scares it off.
I think in Chicago, he probably learned something. You can only be so turkey. You have to sometimes rally yourself back up and get back to the basics and then start throwing the trickery back in. I think he became very readable in Chicago. That's what I think.
There's that, and then the fact that you had Vic Fangio as your defensive coordinator with that defense. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
That too.
the perfect timing for that.
You got to remember, Trubisky made the Pro Bowl that year.
Yeah, I mean, he
So
had
it just wasn't defense, sir.
I'm not saying it was all defense. I just said it was the perfect storm with that. I mean, he had a 5 touchdown game against Tampa Bay. I'm not taking anything away from their offense. It was fun to watch. I'm just saying there were some issues that we kind of overlooked because of the defense.
Right. All right. Let's move on to the Falcons, guys. They have requested interviews with the following. Now, keep in mind, they are currently interviewing for their GM position. So they're requesting interviews, and I'm sure they're waiting for the hire of the GM. And we'll touch base on one of the candidates here in a little bit. But they've requested the following for interviews: Clint Kubiak, Anthony Weaver, Vance Joseph, Jeff Hafley, Robert Saleh, and Kevin Stefanski. They're expected, from my understanding, to also call John Harbaugh. But let's be honest, if they wait to hire their GM before interviewing John Harbaugh, their chances of getting him is not very high, just in my opinion. I think the best fit there, that's where Clint Kubiak comes in, too. I think that he fits in well there only because he's got that young quarterback, a great running back, and 2 decent receivers sitting there, and a tight end that actually decided to play this year, and a defense that stood up really well. That's just my take. Jake, who do you got there that fits well?
I mean, I was going to say the same exact thing, not to speak on what you guys just said and keep repeating. So I'm right there with you.
How about you, Eric?
I mean, we're going to talk about something, so I'm not going to throw my shots out here, but they need to hire, like you said, a GM. And it's kind of hard to speculate without knowing who they choose because, they need to pull the trigger on their president role that they're trying to have with Matt Ryan if they end up doing that and all that. So it would be nice for them to get an offensive minded head coach with that offense that they have. I mean, they just got to figure out their quarterback situation with Penix. And then I think they would be a really dangerous team.
All right, we'll move on to Cardinals now. Some of their scheduled interviews, they have Thomas Brown, who is the Pats passing game coordinator, Jeff Hafley of the Packers, Vance Joseph, Clint Kubiak, Raheem Morris, who just got let go by the Falcons, Matt Nagy, who we already spoke about, Robert Saleh, and Anthony Weaver, who is the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. Jake, who do you think fits best in Arizona?
I don't know. That team needs a lot of work. It's hard for me to throw names around there to feel like a fit for it. I was truly just sitting here, thinking. I just can't.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Eric, which one do you think will help Phoenix get back to their winning ways?
I think this is the hardest one to fill, honestly. Cardinals have bits and pieces everywhere. I mean, they have a receiver, but they don't have really a running back. Their offensive line has a few pieces here. They have the Kyler Murray contract. Their defense is not the best. I don't know who would want to go there. I mean, you get to be in a warm climate, that's plus. But I don't know. Like Jake said, not to copy off of him. I mean, Matt Nagy would be a good place for him. Do you think Brian Daboll gets another chance? He would be okay if he would want to take on Kyler Murray. It's hard for me to say, honestly, just because I don't think Arizona.
I don't think anybody's going to take on Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is going to sit the bench next year, and I think he's going to be gone so they can release him for the $7 million that they can release.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. Like they have all the potential. I mean, it's just putting it together, but it's like nobody can do it. Yeah. It's just been the Kyler Murray situation there,
I think one of the names I did have down was Matt Nagy. I agree with you on that. I think that the reason why I say that is when I think of Matt Nagy getting a second opportunity, he's not going to get that with a franchise that's really close to winning. He's just not going to get that because of his track record in Chicago. But I will say the other guy that came to my mind was Raheem Morris. I think he did a good job of taking an Atlanta team that was pretty troubled at the time and bringing it back to where it was going to be a winning team. I was surprised he got fired. I didn't think he was going to get fired. They rolled off 4 solid wins at the end of that season, and he still lost his job. So I think going into Arizona next year, would he be successful? No, but I think he can build a winning team there for the Cardinals. Just my take. Let's move on to the Ravens. The other surprise one for me. They have completed interviews with Vance Joseph, Davis Webb, Clint Kubiak, Kevin Stefanski, Matt Nagy. They've requested interviews for Anthony Weaver, Brian Flores, Robert Sala, Joe Brady, and Cliff Kingsbury. All right. I'm just going to give mine real quick. And I think you only got 2 really. You got to go with Brian Flores or Robert Sala. I think both of them are a leader of men, but I think he's a little more strict on things. I think Harbaugh might have been a little bit softer from what the reports we heard as far as Lamar sleeping in the classroom and so on and so forth when watching film. So I think if you bring in those 2 guys, you're bringing in a true leader and change the culture up of something that was going sour. Those are the 2 guys I got.
I like those picks. I mean, Stefanski would be good with. I think with. I mean, I don't know what person wouldn't want to go to the Ravens. They got a good head organization overall, but I mean, they just need They need somebody that can help. I mean, develop Lamar into winning in playoffs. That's the biggest thing that they have to worry about. Somebody that can, like you said, leader of men that can hold him accountable and make him a winning organization when it matters.
Right, exactly. Jake, how about yourself?
I mean, I'm right there with you with the whole Salah thing. I mean, I feel like, I know I said him earlier, but I feel like this is also a fantastic, spot for him to land. I mean, if you're wanting to chase a ring, I mean, I feel like this is the place to do it.
Yeah. All right, last team that's currently looking for a coach, but they're also looking for a GM. So it's kind of hard. I tried to find what I could find. I think the same thing where they're obviously expected to interview John Harbaugh, Jeff Hafley, Kevin Stefanski, Mike McCarthy, Jesse Menner, Vance Joseph, and Anthony Weaver. And an interesting one that they're going to reach out to, and I think it'll be a good hire, is Chris Shula, who is the grandson of Don Shula, who we all know was a very successful head coach for the Miami Dolphins for years. Out of those, Jake, who do you think would be the smartest considering the situation in Miami?
I mean, this is kind of, I don't know how smart it would be, but I could kind of see Nagy landing here too. I mean, it's better than, an Arizona team. I mean, you got key pieces that are there. It just needs help. And if you want to prove yourself, I mean, I feel like this is the biggest spot for him to do that.
Definitely a proving ground because they're a hot mess right now.
Yeah.
Eric, who do you think fits in best there?
You said it right. There's the second worst spot. I mean, yeah, you got the no taxes, you got the warm climate. That's the positive. Negative, you got a Tua issue, you have a Tyreek Hill issue. The defense is old. I mean, somebody's gonna do it. It's hard for me to give you exact person because they have cap issues. I don't know, man. Jonathan Gannon, maybe. It's hard for me to say. I mean, maybe Gannon could go in there and fix it up a little bit. I know he didn't have success with the Cardinals, but he did show some things with a mediocre Cardinals teams every now and then. I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
Well, the one that clicked in my head, because I think they go Ewers next year at quarterback, is Kevin Stefanski. I think that he's a Kevin Stefanski kind of quarterback, but it's so hard to tell right now. You guys both hit it perfectly. I mean, this is a team right now that's in a little bit of trouble. I think cap wise, Tua's not your starting quarterback, I don't think anymore. Very athletic, gifted guy, great career at Bama, but just not panning out after all those concussions there in Miami. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Mike McCarthy, I kind of think would be okay there with viewers, but who knows? We shall see. Let's see how the coaching carousel goes around and who lands where. I want to throw something out at you guys, and we'll get into our predictions for the playoffs here in a little bit. But a couple scenarios that have been thrown out there leading into the playoff week. I know they talked about it actually on Fox. Glazer talked about it. Matt LaFleur's job is not very secure right now. It's been rumored, and my favorite saying, where there's smoke, there's fire, right, Eric? I mean, if it's leaking out that if he loses this game this Saturday and Kevin Stefanski was to be fired, that would be their route, is to let him go and hire Stefanski, which that would be a dream job for Stefanski, quite honestly. I mean, that's a very well-ran franchise that cares about winning and tries to get the pieces there to do that. As much as that may kill us to say as Packers fans, that's the truth. You know what I mean? So saying that, I mean, would you be shocked that they fired Matt LaFleur?
That'd be the icing on top if we win and then they fire him. Oh man, that would be great. I'd love that.
Would it? Would it? Because I mean, if they fire him this week, they could bring in Stefanski, or they could bring in a John Harbaugh, which I can't see John Harbaugh turning that job down either. I mean,
They can bring whoever they want.
Would you want those coaches in? And
They can bring whoever they want. That's fine.
hey, I'm all for competition and the Bears getting better and better. I'm all for it. But if they want to put some half-ass coach in there, I would be more happy than putting Super Bowl winning coaches in there, or two-time coach of the year and 2 out of 3 years in that position.
That's the issue, though. That's the issue of us as Bears fans. We're so broken down that we're scared of them getting a head coach. Let them get whoever they want. It's fine.
It's just called common sense. So
it's not called common sense. It's called being scared because, oh no, they'll have Stefanski. It doesn't matter. They still have a love, and he sucks.
all right, guys, let's talk about one guy that did remain. Todd Bowles is going to stay in Tampa Bay at least for another season. Let me run some things through you and see what you guys think. All right, he's missed the playoffs this year, right? He was 8-9. His offense was ranked 20th. All right, they were 20th in pass, 20th with the run. Last year they were third. All right, they were third and fourth as far as third with the pass, fourth with the run. They're 19th ranked defense. That's supposed to be his specialty, and they got a 19 ranked. So there was a major drop off, obviously, from one season to the next. They did lose their offensive coordinator. I want to say that first and foremost, who has done an outstanding job in Jacksonville. So obviously he's a major piece of why they dropped off. But you as a coach have to make sure that you take the right steps to be winning, right? So, I mean, what are they doing? I mean, there's great candidates. We just talked about that this season. I mean, are they waiting to maybe collect that draft pick next year, or do they really believe in Bulls?
I think they believe in him. I mean, it was a crappy year overall for them. A lot of injuries on the offensive side, which just doesn't give you a complete immunity, obviously, because you got to have next man out mentality. But I mean, at the end of the day, he can only do so much with what he has. I don't know. I'm not gonna give him excuses, but I do like him as a head coach.
Gotcha. Jake, what do you think?
I'm right there with him. I mean, I think they like him. I like him. I just think the injuries killed him this year. And I mean, even for what he had, I mean, granted, you can't really speak on injuries considering what the 49ers have done. I mean,
and the Bears.
But I think he's on a make or break year next year for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. Just to me, I look at all the candidates that are out there, and it's just, if I'm the owner, I'm probably going, am I doing the right thing? Do I need to fire my GM too? You know? But we'll see how that plays out for him. Guys, I thought about this watching the Bears game, this question here. Will the game plan ever change for going for it now on 4th down instead of taking the points when you're in the red zone? I mean, I want your take, Eric.
We should have taken the 3 before the end of the quarter.
I'm not talking about the Bears game. I'm talking about
just in general.
In general.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are super into statistics and what, I mean, the numbers say. So I don't think they will go away from that because, I mean, you know, I guess people can say numbers don't lie, but they do. So, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever go back to where the head coach just goes with his gut, you know? So, I don't know. I hope they do go back to that, but we'll see what they decide because, I mean, it pays off, I guess. Do the numbers say it pays off, Chad? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, league average right now is about 60 to 70%, which is pretty broad because that's 10%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Difference. But I mean, even if you're on the 70 percentile portion of it, I mean, one of the things we talked about, Jake, was there's parity, right? Throughout the league right now. There's a lot of close scoring games right now. So you're going to take that risk of going for it. You know what? This is the thing. I get it. You know what? 4th and 1, I don't have a problem with that. I think 4th and 1, you should be able to get 1 yard. But you got teams that are 4th and 4, 4th and 5. And rather than kicking and getting the 3 points, you're taking a risk, a high risk. I don't think that I'll look up the percentage of success from 4 and 5 yards. It cannot be very high. I mean, do you think they ever change back, Jake, to where they go, okay, throw the statistics out the window, let's score points?
I mean, part of me hope it does, but at the same time too, you got to look at not only just like the game itself, but the players. I mean, the NFL players, I mean, all these kids are getting better, faster, stronger. I mean, when you start seeing some of these kids, the way they play, I mean, it's hard not to put your trust in them, I can't see it changing, but I hope it does.
Yeah. See, I'm old school. I think you take the points there. If you're 4th and 1, no, go for it. I think the stats are definitely in your favor. Your percentages are definitely in your favor. I mean, but we've seen it time and time again. And it's not just the Bears. It's not just Detroit this year. It seemed like every team was going for it, and it burnt a lot of teams. The Bears left 6 points out on the field, and that wins them the game.
But Jake, the one thing I have noticed for sure is it seems like there was a shit ton of missed field goals. I mean how much does that have to play with it too? I mean, people could be losing faith in kickers.
Jake, let's be honest. It's not because of that. It's because these people that are now head coaches were playing Madden like we were. We never punt. Fuck punting.
Yeah,
okay, we go for it. That's what it is.
I think you're right. I mean, when Ben Johnson was talking about playing Madden, that's one of the things he talked about.
I'm just saying, because like me and Jake have over 100 games of Madden in our lifespan, obviously, because that's what we did. And we never punted. What's more demoralizing to a person that you hold them to 4 downs and then they go for it and get the first down, that hits you in the soul. That does something to you, and I can only imagine playing in real life.
Yeah, so does losing, though.
Yeah.
And when you're playing the real game and you leave 6 points out that possibly could have won you the game, that's losing.
At the end of the day, most people say I ain't no bitch, and you go for it,
All right, let's get on to the playoffs, guys. All right, first game, let's do our AFC predictions. All right, Jake, who do you got winning out of the Texans and the Steelers?
I mean, I'd like to say for my kids' sake, I'd like to see the Steelers win, but I know that's not going to happen. To have them have a happy moment, but I'm going Texans on that one.
Eric, who do you got winning?
I got the Steelers winning this one.
All right, and I got the Texans winning this. Defense is great for a very slow and old offense. I will say this. I think it's going to be low scoring because I don't think Houston's offense is all that great either. All right, Eric, who do you got? Bills or the Jags?
Let's go Bills. I'm sorry. Bills all the way. No, it's definitely going to be a close game. Josh Allen needs to prove that he is him. All right. There's no.
Do you realize that the Jags are 6-3 against teams?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he needs to lock in here. He is his team. I'm sorry. That's just what you have, buddy. Okay. You need to lock in and you need to prove that you can win. And there's no Patrick Mahomes. Okay. There's no more excuses. You just got to do it.
Right. Well, I agree. I'm taking the Bills over the Jags. The only reason why I really am is because of the inexperience in the postseason for the Jags. They haven't been there. A lot of those, last time they were there, a lot of those players are not there, if there's even a player on there from that team. So I think that the Jags are for real for now. I think that when the new head coach came in, the old offensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, we just talked about, he brought a very solid game plan for them, and it's winning. But I just don't think they can do it in the postseason at this point in time. Jake, how about you?
I'm going to go complete opposite of you guys. I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again. Even though he didn't deserve his MVP title, I think Josh Allen is not him. I think he's starting to fade. So I don't think he gets it done. And like Eric said, I mean, he is the team. And
so you're going Duval.
I am.
You got to say it just like
Liam Cohen.
Liam Cohen. Yes,
Liam
thank you. All right. And we got the Patriots and the Chargers. I got the Patriots over the Chargers. There's too many injuries for a well-coached Chargers team. Drake May's going to have a tough day against that defense, though. That Chargers defense is still good. But I think it's going to be another low-scoring game, just like the Steelers game, I think, personally. But I think Patriots did enough to win. Jake, who do you got win this one?
I'm right there with you. I just with how well that team is put together right now and playing. I should say put together. I should say playing, but I can't see them losing this one. I'm right there with the Patriots.
Mr. Eric, who do you got winning?
I'm gonna go with Chargers.
Because you're a Drake May hater?
No, I just think
You're such a fucking homer. My God.
no, that's not it at all.
My God.
I'm telling you, listen.
Oh, you're such a fucking homer.
listen. All right, give me a chance. All right, Harbaugh is going to coach his team up. Defense is going to be good. This is one of maybe last game for Khalil Mack and Keenan Allen. I think they're going to put it all on board and try to win this one. Just because, like I said, it's you're all in here, okay? You got to do it. The Patriots have surprised a lot of people this year, but I still think they got the Chargers have a chance to win.
All right, residential homer. He hates Drake May only because he was drafted the same year that Caleb Williams was, and he's outperformed Caleb this year. So he's got the same thing that he felt about Jaden Daniels last year.
I mean, was I wrong?
For last year, yeah. This year, no. Last year, yes.
Just saying.
All right, NFC predictions. Jake, who do you got? Rams or do you got the Panthers?
I know they lost in the regular season, but give me the Rams. I can't see them losing this one to them.
I agree. Carolina's got a good defense and a solid run game, but I think Matthew Stafford and the future MVP of this season, he's got revenge on his mind. He had a really poor game against them, and I think he's going to this is going to be the blowout one, I think, personally. How about you, Eric?
Concur. I think if the Panthers would have ended with a little bit better, like offensive play, I guess you could say, I would go with them. But no, the Rams are out for blood. They're one of the top teams besides the Seahawks, so I see them going.
Gotcha. All right, Eric, Eagles or the 49ers?
This one's tough, dude. Like Jake said earlier, the 49ers have outperformed their roster by a lot. They don't have a lot of injuries. They have a lot of questionables, but they'll all probably play anyways. And then same thing with the Eagles. I'm gonna go 49ers. I still think the Eagles are not all the way there.
Gotcha.
Also,
all right. I have the Eagles over the 49ers. Too many injuries for the 49ers to overcome. I think that showed last week against Seattle. And let's face it, Seattle's got a great defense, but Philadelphia's got a better defense. Another lower scoring game, offensive struggles on both sides. I cannot see Brock Purdy having a good game against that defense. That defense is just vicious.
I'm happy that Justin's not here, Chad, just so he doesn't hear me say this. But at this point, I think the biggest thing that divides them, like you said, is the defense, but also who is the better quarterback. And I think Brock Purdy's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts.
I would agree with you on that, but I just don't think that I just can't see Purdy beating that defense. That defense is too good. What do you think, Jake?
Well, first things first, you better clip that and send it to him and put it on TikTok so that way there's proof of him saying that.
You better not. You better not.
But I'm gonna. I mean, that's like you guys said. It's a tough one, but I think just because they've both been in the situation a lot. I mean, but I gotta give it to the 49ers. I mean, to me, I can't see them losing. I don't know why. I just feel like the Eagles team's, like Eric said, the Eagle team's not fully there.
Right. All right. Into our game Saturday night, which would be on Fox if you're in the Chicagoland area, Amazon Prime if you are outside of that area. Let's talk about it, guys. We'll make our pick, then we'll get a little bit deeper into it here a little bit. I'm just going to say this. Bears and Packers are getting back some key players, all right, this week. I got to take the Packers over the Bears. It pains me. It really does, but that defense leaves me no choice. No choice. You know what? I'm 52 years old, and I have never seen a defense this bad in Chicago in my lifetime. Never. And it's still not the best offense I've ever seen in Chicago yet. So it pains me. I mean, listen, our secondary's soft. Our linebackers are slow. and we have no pass rush. That's our defense in a nutshell. All right. We'll get a little bit deeper into it here, but unfortunately, I have to take the Packers 31-28. Go ahead, Jake.
We know what my father's getting for Christmas this year. He's getting some Packers gear. It's coming out.
I had to be
He
real.
already said it. He's a Packers fan too.
No, I did not. I corrected that quickly.
No, but I mean, third time playing, I can't see us losing. We got home field. I think that's going to help us out tremendously.
I hope you're right.
Do I think it's by any means going to be a high scoring game? No, I feel like it's going to be just like how it was last time, and another heart attack moment. But I think we pull it off. I agree with you on the defense. I think it's softer than hell, and it showed last week.
Last 2 weeks.
Yeah, last 2 weeks. But at the same time, too, we have relied on our defense and special teams to corral us back into a winning position. So I can't count that out.
I'd agree with you. All right, Eric. I already know who you're going to pick to win.
I mean,
so tell us about it.
So I'm going to tell you about it, right? We got a head coach that holds his players accountable. The last few, shows that he's done, he's talked about it. All the players have talked about it. They've held each other accountable. But I really think that, we have the players to win this game. The Packers are what they are, but I don't think they'll be able to do what the Lions did. Yes, they have some players, but we got some of our players back. I just, like Jake said, I don't see us losing this. I'm sorry. It just feels different with the coach we have and the players we have. I just can't see us losing. We'll win 21-10.
All right. Early Super Bowl predictions. Obviously, this could change on an injury. It could change on anything. I've got, when it all is said and done and the smoke clears, I think you got Seattle versus New England. They're the two most complete teams, I think, offensively, defensively, and are well coached. That's my early predictions out of the playoffs. Jake, what do you got?
I think you hit that right on the head. I mean, you got like you said, two most complete teams. I think that makes sense to me. And I know we ain't got to ask Eric. We know who he's putting.
We know who his NFC team is anyway. Eric, who do you got?
On a real note, we got the Steelers versus the Rams.
Really? Ooh. Yeah, you're the Aaron Rodgers freaking closet fan.
Nah, I'm just telling you, it just is something about how they're coming all together at the end of I don't know.
What, you think DK is going to celebrate with some fans?
Yeah, he'll punch a couple more fans. We'll see what happens.
Out of these playoff games, what's the most exciting one to you, Jake? Not the Bears. That has nothing to do with the Bears.
Yeah, I wasn't even leaning towards the Bears, I'm going to be honest. I think that 49ers game is going to be a hell of a game to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
I agree. It's going to be a defensive war or an offensive war, but that defense for Eagles is going to be fun to watch. What do you think, Eric? What's the one that is excited for you?
The Chargers, no, I'm kidding. No, I think I agree with Jake, but no, I think the Bills-Jaguars should be good. I think they're very two competitive teams. I really want to see what Duvall we get, and then if Josh Allen, like Jake said, is him or not.
Yeah. No, that's my game is Bills versus Jags. And I'm going to say, obviously, the Bills are going to win, but I'm even going to throw a score out there. I think it's going to be 24-21, and the Bills win. That's my score prediction. All right, real quick, before we get to some Bears stuff, let's talk about our final standings for the picks. Last week, we did not pick 7 games. We picked all 16 games. And for the final standings, in first place is myself at 73-54. In second place is Justin at 71-56. And once again, year 2, Eric is in third place. And actually, he was in fourth place last season. Jake, unfortunately, didn't do the picks with us because Eric would have been in fourth place. Eric, you should thank Jake right now that you're not in fourth place, that you're in third.
Hey, kiss my hand right here, buddy.
So Eric was 64-63, one game over 500 for his picks. Maybe the playoffs you can get us? What do you think?
It's called I don't care. All right. At the end of the day, I was throwing my shot at the end of the season because I was behind too far. So that really doesn't say anything. I will take my punishment like a man and do it.
Hey, okay, for next season, it'll be myself, Jake, and Eric picking, and we're going to pick all 16 games, and we're going to pick to the spread. So that'll be Eric's true demise when it's all said and done. See, Eric doesn't like to actually pick a winner because he can't pick the winner. He's just going to say, okay, well, I got a little leeway now that I got points that I can pick or choose. So
No, because the way
that's okay.
Chad,
We'll give that to you.
the Chad method is picking the minus 1200 team,
That's
the easiest
the wild card game.
I mean,
that's the wild card game.
That's just crazy to
You
me.
should have figured it out a long time ago.
No, I knew what your method was, but I didn't like it. I like to make it a little interesting for people.
I like to win. So you make it interesting to people while I win. All right. We'll have to figure out what Eric's punishment is. We'll come up with it and definitely put it on here. It won't be an ice bath. It has to be something more interesting.
I know, bitch, Chad.
All right. Let's talk some Bears. Eric, big game Saturday night, as we've talked about. 7 o'clock game. What's the injury report looking like?
For the Bears, we got CJ Gardner Johnson out with a concussion. He got knocked the F out, as people say.
Yeah.
Another one is Amon Amagamiga. He's out with a concussion. And then Joe Tyrone Shakoya is out with a concussion. Otherwise, Braxton Jones is questionable and Kyler Murray is questionable. I think they'll come off of IR, so that'll be great to see those guys back.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And obviously, 2 big names returning back to the field this week. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so big names for us is, our boy Roma Dunze coming back, which will be great to add another key receiver for us. And then same thing with Kyler Gordon coming back. Yes, that would be great help for not just the passing game in the slot, but also that run game. He gets in there. He's not scared to hit somebody. I think it's a sleeper thing for everybody, but I'm praying to God he can stay healthy because, God, he makes such a big difference.
I agree. We'll see if they have him on a snap count or not. That'll be the biggest question, I believe. All right, the game is on Prime. Like we talked about, if you're in the Chicagoland area, it is on Fox 32. That's where you can watch a game. 7 o'clock game time in Chicago. Let's talk about this game. I talked about it a little bit already. Kirk, let me ask you this. You know I picked the Packers, and I know you're going to pick the Bears. I knew you guys are both going to give me shit about this, but when I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at what Love's done to our defense. If he can stay healthy, I want to say that first and foremost. He tears up our secondary. That first game that we had in the season, you can't blitz him because if you blitz him, he finds that guy in the slots. If you don't blitz him, we don't have a pass rush to get to him, so he's got more time to find somebody. That's why I went with the Packers because that's my concern with the Bears going in. I think that our offense will actually have a very good game. I think we will play more than one quarter of a game like we did last time when we won. But I just worry about that defense. I mean, how do you feel so confident in that defense that we can stop them?
I don't really think it's about stopping them. I mean, yes, we would love to see that. I know us as Bears fans, we were so, like you said, it's our identity to have good defense, top 10 defenses. And I think, that's the issue where we fall into that mindset. But I'm not, like Ben Johnson said, I'm not relying on them. We held the Lions to 19 points. That should have been enough to win the game. At the end of the day, it's just going to be relying on Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson to lead us to win this game. We know our defense will not be those people if they can get some key takeaways like they have, which would help us. But other than that, I mean, it's on the offense for them to win. It's not on defense. We're not going to have a defense like we used to have. And it just, that's what we have to realize. Like it has to be on Caleb Williams in the run game to win this game for us.
Gotcha. Jake, I know you picked the Bears. How do you have confidence in that Bears defense to win the game? Because they're truly going to have to hold Love off.
So in all honesty, I mean, I don't. It's the homer in me, but I mean, just let alone the only thing that's somewhat holding an attack is just the fact, like I said earlier, there's been times where our defense has came through for us and won us a game, or gave us offense a chance to win that game. So I mean, I can't count that out. I mean, to me, that's right there is just a key aspect. And like I didn't want to say it earlier, but you're getting Gordon back. I mean, let alone we can't tackle for shit when it comes to the run, but that's somebody who I hope in a playoff scenario he's not really on a snap count, but you never know. But to me, stuffing that run game is going to help out, and hopefully he's a key aspect in that.
Right. And My take on it, guys, is this. I think our offense is good enough to win. I just don't think our defense is. And that's my concern. But I will say this, regardless of the outcome, I'm happy as shit with this season. I predicted 8 to 9 wins. We overachieved on that. Vegas had us at what? At 9, right? So, I mean, we overachieved on that. It was a successful season regardless, whether we make it to the Super Bowl or we don't, or we are one and done in the playoffs. But I just see this, if we don't establish a run early in that game, it's going to be clear that we're not going to win it. Would you guys agree with that?
I would
No,
agree. I would agree.
I do not agree.
But the games that we've actually looked very good in, though, we have established that run. I will say that
Yes.
100%.
Until that clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter, I just can't. They've taught me that I can't. You got to wait until it hits 0.
But that game also has to be close, though, too.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but it's just I'm saying, like, as far as counting them out, I just can't. It's just not in me this year, and we've seen it every 7 games, 6 games. So I just I'm hoping with the what the players have said, I'm just fully in. I'm in it. I'm fully going in, and it's just it is what it is. I mean, you guys can laugh at me later when I cry in the corner for the
No,
whole week if we lose, but like
no, even if they lose tomorrow night, I'll be upset that they lost, but I'm gonna be happy as a Bears fan of
no,
how we're gonna look next year.
percent. I mean, this is not a failed year. I mean, we have the 2 most important positions secured with a quarterback and a head coach. So, I mean, the hope is we can adjust some of the players that we know we need to get rid of, or and add more depth to our defense and make a push next year again.
I will say, though, if we lose, I will cancel my class in Wisconsin next
No,
week.
Oh,
you
that's right,
got
because you
to.
went there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, one of the favorite things I think I heard all week was they were talking to Loveland and talking about what was said by Ben Johnson. It was Loveland, right? That came out and said that if you're thinking about booking a
Yeah,
flight
that
or
was
vacations,
Loveland. Yep.
yeah, you might as well just not come in.
That's what I'm saying. How does that not get you
That's good
pumped up?
shit.
I'm just,
Yeah,
I'll run
that's
through a
good
wall.
stuff.
I'll go run through a wall. It's fine. It's just,
You know,
I don't know.
I listened to Jay Cutler earlier today, and they were talking to him about on ESPN 1000 about the Bears last week and their performance against Detroit. And he said he would not put anything into that game. Well, only reason why he would not, he says, yeah, you go into every game wanting to win, and you go into every game giving 100%. He goes, but the mindset there was already, they were in the playoffs already. I'm hoping he's right because we don't want to see what we seen last week.
I mean, I know I'm not trying to put too much. I mean, no, I'm going to. Anyways, Ben Johnson seems like he's always playing, 4D chess, 3D chess. I feel like he's always so far ahead. Sometimes that burns him because he overthinks or but I think that's why he made that scheme. I know they have all this tape from the rest of the year, but it's like I feel like he held back. I don't know why, but it just didn't look like the same kind of. Even you texted they ran the same play 3 times.
Yeah,
There has to be a reason why he was doing that. I mean, he even said this was the simplest,
game plan.
game plan we had. So I don't know. It might be for a reason. It might not be for a reason, but I know they won't hold anything back. And I'm hoping that he's learned from all the mistakes as far as, not going for it or going for it. And also just play the run. I mean, you know what your identity is. Do it.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Ian Cunningham is being interviewed by Atlanta for the GM. Good for him. Scary for us because I think he is that level for Ryan Poles. We've talked about it in the past, Eric. Jake, one of the upsides is if they do hire him, we get 2 third-round picks in this draft, which, I mean, Poles has done all right in the late rounds too. Obviously, Kyle Nungai in the 7th. Hate to see him go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there. I'd hate to see him go, but it'd be nice to get some more picks, like
Some
you said.
collateral.
Yeah. If, like you said, we hit later on, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be bad for us, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric, like I said, we've talked about it
Yeah,
several
we've
times
talked about
before.
it. It has to happen. He needs to move on. We know it was going to happen. Like you said, he is that A to B or sun to moon with Ryan Poles, but if you see Matt Ryan get hired, like I said earlier, as the president, I think Ian Cunningham will go as his GM because Poles and Matt Ryan were roommates back in Boston, so they have that connection. So they know they're talking about that stuff. And I just
Right.
think it's secured. Once you see Matt Ryan as the president, Ian Cunningham's going there.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, like I texted you earlier a while ago, I'm hoping they can hire somebody else to fill that void. Like you said, just somebody that's level headed and not just a yes man and can hold Ryan Poles accountable to some of the things he loves to do.
Right. Right. Absolutely. All right, guys. Another good podcast. We'll have another one next week with a lot of information coming out of the playoffs for the Bears. Hopefully getting ready for another game. Jake, what do you got?
First things first, Eric, someone's got to start teaching you how to win. But I mean, 2 straight seasons in last place. I mean, you're in some trouble. Secondly, if you need me, I will help you teach your sons how to win too. Coming from a winning background, I got you, bud. But other than that, I mean, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell everyone about it. Help us grow. We'd appreciate it.
All right, Eric, what you got in closing there?
This man thinks he can talk shit because he won fantasy for the first time. So it's fine. It's fine. I'll give you your trophies. Good for you, buddy. We appreciate everybody. Like I said, I think us as a team, meaning Bears, have gone so far in 1 year that what is going to stop us from winning this game? I'm hoping we'll win. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope we get to keep talking about the playoffs. Other than that, like Jake said, please follow, subscribe, tell your friends, let us know what we can do better, make Chad shave his head. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's almost there. And I didn't even have to shave it.
I think that should be Eric's punishment, and he can't wear the hat on stream.
I'll do it.
Completely bald.
I don't care. I'll do it.
And eyebrows.
No, not the eyebrows. Not the eyebrows.
Maybe that's next year's punishment. Maybe that's next year's. All right. We appreciate everybody watching. We are excited, obviously, like Eric said, about the Bears. We are all 3 Bears fans and have enjoyed this season, and hopefully it continues. Hopefully I'm wrong on my prediction. I hated taking the Packers or the Bears, but I had to be realistic if I'm making a true pick when it comes down to it, and then let's see what happens. Please follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate you watching. Be kind to each other, by the way. We're out. Peace.